A ragged young slave jolted awake on the frozen mud, iron chains scraping stone. A crimson system message seared across his vision, memory unsealed, hero rank SSS.
This power, this name, it's mine. I'm Hayato, the last hero.
2 centuries shattered into a single breath, the final sealing, the dragon's roar, the taste of death. He had died to bind the 9-tailed dragon Monarch, but death had not held. Through the camp's fog, the silhouette of the dragon curled behind the imperial fortress, its red eyes piercing the gloom.
It's still alive, and I'm in chains. This must be a nightmare.
You've been out for 2 days. Eat this before you fade again.
Who are you? Why help a stranger branded with a collar?
Because in this hell, the only ones still human are the ones who still ask.
The next morning, the slaver Captain Goru hurled a collared man into the dirt. All prisoners were forced to kneel and witness.
20 lashes for a stolen crust. You rats learn through blood.
Hayato's collar ignited with a red spike of pain the moment his muscles tensed, a silent scream locked in his throat.
Don't move when they beat someone. The collar feeds on your fury.
The whip cracked 17 times before the boy stopped breathing. Goru spat and walked on.
Not just chains, leeches. But I didn't crawl back from death to rot here.
The seal drains chakra faster than your body makes it. That's why no one ever breaks free.
Shatter seal. 3 reversed hand signs. My old squad thought it was a myth.
That night, in the cell's pitch darkness, his fingers traced the forgotten sequence. A faint violet spark died instantly.
It's still there, buried under this cursed metal, but alive.
2 nights later, under a moonless sky, Hayato poured every drop of chakra into the seal. The collar screamed scarlet.
Break. Damn you. I didn't cross death to wear a leash.
A shockwave of agony dropped him. He saw his own death again, the sealing, the dragon's fangs, the endless fall. Pink hair swept into his fading sight. Sakura dragged him behind the latrines, pressing a cold, foul-smelling paste to his neck.
I've seen this before. The seal has a kill switch. They always die.
How? Do you know that? Who are you really?
She turned away, her hand gripping the small stone at her chest. No answer came. Hayato lay in the stench, his body a wreck. The collar's fail-safe had nearly cooked his chakra pathways shut.
I can't brute force this. The dragon forged that thing to kill heroes. If chakra triggers the trap, then I need a key that isn't chakra. And she knows something.
Hayato found the answer in a forbidden jutsu buried in his past life, a life force tax the seal could not read.
5 years of my life for one crack. Cheap.
The seal screamed, then a hairline fracture split the metal. Dim violet chakra trickled through, not freedom, but a knife's edge. That night, desperate screams cut through the compound. 3 slaves bolted toward the northern wall, 2 guards in pursuit. Hayato melted from shadow, a broken shackle chain wrapped around his fists, a silent wraith. The second guard lunged. Hayato caught the blade with his forearm, then drove his palm into the man's neck. A wet snap, and silence.
You? You killed them. You're not a slave, are you?
I'm property 4471, just like you. But not for much longer. Follow me, all of you.
He led them into ancient sewer tunnels beneath the camp, a labyrinth the Empire had forgotten. Water dripped, and the dark swallowed their footsteps.
1 crack, 2 guards dead, a handful of souls who owe me. This is the beginning.
Weeks bled into months. In the sewer's ghostlight, Hayato drilled the freed slaves in basic hand signs.
I'll get it right next time. The boar seal hates my fingers.
Above, the Empire paraded 3 resurrected generals, Takeda, Yamamoto, Fujioka, once Hayato's comrades, now dragon-blooded lords. Hayato's hand trembled over the name. Takeda, his first captain, now a monster wearing a friend's face. He slipped into the night, a stolen blade in hand, and a lifetime of regret lodged in his throat. The chamber erupted. Takeda's dragon flame met Hayato's violet chakra, shattering paper screens. The general's mask cracked down the middle. His red eyes widened in impossible recognition.
Takeda gasped, blood at his teeth. Heya, you were dead. We mourned you.
Hayato drove the blade deeper, ending 2 centuries of corrupted brotherhood with a wet snarl. He returned to the sewer base, gore-drenched. Sakura's bowl clattered. She didn't need to ask. After Takeda's blood dried, Hayato's eyes held no warmth. He left Sakura without a word and vanished into the occupied tunnels above. He returned hours later with a slaver officer's broken body and a name seared into his mind: the Grand Seal.
Under the dragon's throne, a single artifact feeds every caller. Smash it, and every slave chain in this empire shatters.
Hope flickered. They planned to ambush a supply caravan, arm the group, then strike the capital. The night of the raid, the wagons were empty. Archers materialized on the ridge. Screams tore through the darkness. Hayato dragged 3 wounded into the tunnel entrance. A crossbow bolt lodged in his shoulder. Blood pooled beneath his steps. Hayato's eyes swept the survivors. Someone talked. Who knew the route? The newest recruit flinched.
You sold us out.
Hayato, stop. He was with me the whole night before. He couldn't have.
Alone later, she stared at the crude diagram of the Grand Seal. Her fingers traced the same sigils on the stone at her neck. Sakura's hand convulsed as a waking vision shoved through, a white-robed priestess, dragon sigil blistering into her palm.
It's real. The bond, I can't outrun it forever.
A heartbeat later, every collar in the Empire bled crimson. The dragon's voice clawed into their minds.
Bring the collared ghost to the capital by dawn, or watch your families burn in the palace square.
Above, at the smoldering ruins of the slave camp, a lone crimson-eyed kunoichi dropped from the sky, chakra-sensing threads spiraling.
That stance. The shadow step. I taught it to only 1 student. What has the dragon done to her?
A fine crimson chakra thread wavered at the tunnel entrance. The hunter had locked onto his cracked collar's signature. Beneath, Sakura's stone thrummed. The Grand Seal diagram on the parchment flickered with the same rose-gold light as her vision.
He'll sense it. The dragon knows where I am through the stone. I have to decide.
Hayato slipped back, saw her haunted stillness, and said nothing. The hunter had a trail, and the priestess's stone had begun to sing. The hunter's thread tightened to a trap. In the abandoned warehouse near the southern gate, the last of the resistance huddled. The far wall exploded inward. A crimson-eyed kunoichi strode through the dust, a chakra whip hissing from her palm.
I'll protect them. I won't let you hurt anyone.
Before Hayato could move, Riku surged forward, his broken wooden sword raised like a real blade. Rira's whip snapped. The boy's chest opened in a line of red. He never made a sound.
No.
Violet chakra erupted from the crack in his collar, a forbidden technique he'd sworn never to use again. Rira's eyes widened, then nothing. The warehouse echoed with a wet snarl and silence.
I wanted to be a hero, like you.
When the dust settled, Hayato knelt in the blood, unseeing. Sakura reached for him. He flinched away. Exhaustion finally claimed Hayato. As he collapsed, Sakura crept from the shadows. She knelt beside a terrified slave, and rose-gold light bloomed from her fingers. The collar shattered.
That mark. The dragon priestess sigil. From the old ritual. It can't be. You. That mark. You're the one who betrayed me. Who sold me to the dragon.
Yes, I am the one who killed you with a kiss, the reincarnated priestess, and your original sin. But I've spent 200 years. Please, let me explain.
A shockwave drowned her words. The capital erupted in dragon fire, the palace spires collapsing like snapped spears. Hayato's collar flared with the same crimson as the dragon's command. The hunt was renewed.
I should kill you, but the dragon dies first. Then I'll decide what you deserve.
He released her and vanished into the smoke, leaving her sobbing among the ruins with a broken collar in his wake. Hayato crashed through the paper screens of Yamamoto's fortress chamber, a stolen blade already wet with guard blood.
You were my second. Tell me why the dragon brought us back and I'll make it quick.
Because the priestess's soul is the key, fool. She holds the dragon's heart. Her betrayal is why you reincarnate.
No, she's been the anchor this whole time? That's why I'm still alive?
She's been feeding him your every step through the collar vein. The little traitor never stopped serving her master.
You're lying. She broke the collar. She saved me.
A lure, Hayato. To keep you close until the dragon could crush you both. She belongs to him.
The blade moved before thought. Yamamoto's head hit the tatami. Blood seeped into the grain. He stood in the spreading red, the general's dying lie now lodged in his chest like a second collar.
Then I'll kill the dragon, and her, if I have to. No more lies.
In the sewer's ghostlight, Sakura knelt as if waiting, her pink hair a shroud. She did not flinch when his footsteps halted.
You knew I was coming. You sat here waiting to die.
Because it's the only way to stop him. If you kill me, the dragon's heart stops. Do it.
She raised her tear-streaked face, the priestess sigil still faintly aglow on her palm. No shield, no escape.
200 years ago, he held my village hostage. I chose their lives over your trust. I've reincarnated over and over, bearing the guilt. This time, I found you before he did.
She pressed the stone necklace into his hand, still warm from her skin, the sole tether of the priestess.
Break it, and we all end. You, me, the dragon. This is your victory.
The sword clattered to the stone floor. The sound echoed longer than any scream. He dropped to his knees beside her, shaking. The collar's crack pulsed violet, but no spell could cage this silence. The hours bled into gray dawn. In the sewer's blue gloom, they sat shoulder to shoulder, fingers barely touching.
I believe you. The dragon twisted everyone, even my old squad. But we can still end this.
I've been siphoning his energy through the collar vein. My mark is a parasite on his power.
For the first time in 2 centuries, Hayato saw a path that didn't demand her death, but it led straight into the serpent's jaw.
Can you get us past the palace wards? I can shatter the Grand Seal if we reach it unseen.
Yes, I'm still registered as a penitent priestess. One returning to the fold will not be searched.
Before they could move, a bloodied figure tumbled through the tunnel grate. Gasping raggedly, the scream echoed. The dragon has taken everyone, the camp survivors, the children. He's parading them in the palace square.
That's Riku's sister out there. He's using them as bait. Then we go now. Together.
They reached the palace gates at dusk, the black chakra aurora staining the sky like a bruise. Sakura raised her hand, the priestess seal flaring. Guards pressed fists to chests and parted. Deep beneath the throne, the Grand Seal chamber yawned open. A forest of chains held dozens suspended, collars glowing red. Among them, a small girl with a broken wooden sword hung limp Yumi, Riku's sister.
Well, well, the little traitor priestess returns. I've been waiting for this.
Before Goru could bark another word, a shadow dropped from the ceiling vault. Hayato's stolen blade met Goro's mace in a shriek of steel. Violet and red chakra erupted between them. Sakura sprinted for the Grand Seal. Her hands flared rose gold as she pressed them to the orb. The collapse of chains began, but deep in the palace, a primordial roar answered. The dragon had felt the tear.
Guru, your leash ends here. Sakura, keep the chant. I'll buy you the time we need.
Hayato twisted the blade free. and drove it upward through Goro's jaw. The brute's laughter died in a gurgle. The Grand Seal screamed. A pulse of red lightning snaked toward Yumi, her collar blazing like a beacon of stolen life. Sakura was thrown back. Her chant shattered. She crumpled against the stone wall, her eyes fluttering.
Hayato, your eye. The scarred one. You have to open it, or we all die here.
His fingers froze at the sealed eyelid. Unleashing it meant becoming the monster that once died with the dragon, and perhaps not coming back. Yumi's collar burned like a falling star. The other prisoners' chains began to draw them upward, choking. He made his choice. The lid parted, and ancient violet light tore through the chamber like a forgotten dawn. A scream ripped from his throat as every memory of his first death and the dragon's roar erupted inside his skull. Then the chamber entrance darkened, a shadow that blotted out hope. The dragon monarch arrived.
At last, the fallen hero remembers how to die.
The scarred eyelid peeled back fully. A vortex of black and violet chakra erupted, shredding his slave tunic to reveal the coiled dragon mark across his chest. Spectral black dragon wings unfolded from his back, crackling with violet lightning. The SSS rank aura flooded the chamber like a vengeful dawn.
Sal's Zavering Seal reversal.
The Grand Seal's crimson energy reversed. Across the Empire, every collar shattered like glass, iron rings falling into the dust. In the chamber, the suspended prisoners dropped, chains slack. Yumi stirred, her collar now cold ash, the broken sword still at her belt. Hayato staggered, a dark stream of blood trailing from his unsealed eye. The wings flickered, but he drove his heels into the stone.
You gave me the key. Now let me end this.
He turned his back to her and faced the dragon monarch, whose 9 tails coiled in the darkness like waiting executioners. The dragon's red eyes narrowed. The chamber groaned as if the mountain itself held its breath, waiting for a world to end.
2 centuries, dragon. I remember everything. And today, your reign burns.
You cannot kill me, hero. Our souls are bound by the original seal. If I fall, you follow.
So that was his game. Even death is a chain.
Hayato answered with a rage-driven slash. Void wings propelled him into the dragon's throat. The palace screamed. Black claws met violet blade, and the ceiling split open to a boiling sky. Through the rubble and fire, a small hand dragged itself across the stone. Sakura's eyes fixed on his crumbling form.
Our souls are linked differently. Through the stone. I can give you the rest of me.
She pressed her palm over his racing heart. Pink gold chakra bled into the coiled mark. The dragon's sigil writhed, then stilled, intertwining with a rose gold thread, a shared emblem of 2 entwined lives. Hayato and Sakura screamed as one, a name they had no words for, the unison severance. The air shattered. A column of violet and rose gold light erupted, swallowing the dragon's roar whole. The light collapsed inward, shaping a yin-yang sphere of violet and black chakra, each half devouring the other.
This is not victory, it is torment eternal.
Its physical form disintegrated, a storm of obsidian threads streaming toward the coiled mark on Hayato's chest. A rose gold thread wove alongside it, Sakura's soul, not dying but binding itself as a seal keeper within him. Hayato's back arched, a silent scream, as the last tendrils seared into his flesh. The mark sealed with a hiss. The chamber groaned. The Grand Seal's orb shattered into harmless crystal dust, the last chains evaporating. Above, the capital trembled. The dragon-shaped palace began to sink into the mountain, its dark chakra aurora scattering. In the rubble, 2 figures lay hand in hand, chests barely rising, dust settling like gray snow. Her eyes flickered open, rose gold fading. His scarred eye was shut again, but the violet one gazed at her.
We're still here. Both of us.
The first gray light of dawn slanted through the shattered ceiling, cutting the dust like a blade. Hayato gathered Sakura into his arms, her slight weight barely registering against the exhaustion. They emerged into a broken courtyard where freed slaves and former guards stood frozen, staring at the two figures trudging from the ruin. No one spoke. Then, one by one, they dropped to their knees, not as slaves, but as witnesses to a deathless dawn.
They're not bowing to power. They're bowing to hope.
Then let it be enough. Let the chains remember what we broke.
They passed through the great city gate, its iron doors sagging open never to be shut again. Beyond the walls, a field of wild grass and falling ash stretched toward a horizon no dragon would ever darken again. Hayato walked slowly. His burden was not only the girl in his arms, but the silent roar sealed beneath his ribs.
The dragon is quiet now, and so am I. Just walk a little longer.
Days later, on a green hill overlooking the empty slave camp, wildflowers had already begun to swallow the mud and iron. Hayato unwrapped a cloth bundle of rice balls and offered one to Sakura. Her smile twitched, faint but real. His free hand drifted to the coiled mark visible through his open tunic. Beneath the skin, a subtle pulse answered.
It grumbles, but it's quiet now. Not the roar of a king, just the echo of a prisoner.
I can feel his rage, but also his loneliness. 200 years trapped in his own hate.
She leaned her head against his shoulder, the weight of centuries settling into a single, fragile exhale.
We carry it together. That's enough for me.
A gentle wind swept up from the emptied camp, carrying no screams, only the scent of wildflowers. The sun melted into the horizon, painting the sky in shades of rose gold and violet, a reflection of the seal they now shared. For the first time in 2 centuries, the world did not belong to a dragon. It belonged to them, and they could wait for tomorrow. Night folded over the hill. The stars came out one by one, and the 2 figures beneath the tree did not stir. The coiled dragon mark on Hayato's chest glowed faintly in the darkness, a living seal no longer burning but breathing. Sakura's hand lay over it, not grasping, just resting, as if her palm alone could guard the quiet. Within the mark, a single slit of red opened a dragon's eye, not in fury but in watchfulness. It regarded the sleeping girl for a heartbeat. Then it closed, and the mark settled into a steady rhythm, 2 heartbeats woven into one symbol. Some legends end with death. This one began with chains, and ends with 2 souls bearing the weight of the world, together. This is where the hero's tale does not end. It simply becomes theirs, a final gust of wind scattered petals across the grass. Then, silence. The dragon within did not stir again that night, and the world, for once, slept without chains. In a village risen from the camp's bones, children spun old collar rings on sticks, toys now, not shackles. A small grave on the hill had Riku's broken sword planted as a headstone, wildflowers piled at its base. Villagers raised a wooden house, passing beams hand to hand, laughter replacing the silence of fear. In the town square, a sculptor chiseled at a block of pale stone, 2 figures emerging from the raw grain. The statue showed a scar-eyed young man supporting a pink-haired woman, their hands clasped, not in triumph but in shared exhaustion. Beneath them, broken chains lay carved in the pedestal, forever snapped. Across the land, former slavers' barracks were torn down, the wood used for schoolhouses. A child placed a small wooden sword by the statue's base, mimicking Riku's lost toy. The camera pulled back from the quiet village, rooftops warm under the sun, fields green. And from the hill, the 2 who started it all watched for a moment, then turned away, walking into the world they had remade. The final image dissolved, the scarred hero and the pink-haired priestess, hand in hand, fading into the world they had reclaimed. Then, darkness. The black screen stretched on, heavy with the memory of chains and the ghost of a dragon's roar, a canvas of lasting quiet. From the heart of that darkness, a voice slithered out, old and patient.
You cannot cage me forever, boy.
The echo coiled around the silence, a tightening spring. For a split second, the coiled dragon mark ignited, a defiant flash of violet and rose gold tearing through the black. Then it died, and the darkness returned. A single heartbeat followed, low and heavy, a drum beat from the depths of the seal. Another beat, a third, fainter, before silence swallowed them all. Then silence, profound and complete, as though the universe itself held its breath. And in that silence, the new world slept unchained, dreaming of a dawn painted in rose gold and violet. Beneath the seal, the dragon's eye remained closed for now. End.